Hey guys, welcome back to Coin Knowledge. So today I'm going to be giving you guys a couple projects that I'm bullish on and a couple projects that I personally am looking at for key levels right now during this kind of sideways downtrend market that we're in right now. Because again, and I had given you guys my market kind of just feels or predictions about a month ago. Because as we look historically, throughout the Bitcoin 4-year cycle, September is generally a pretty bearish month typically, and then October kind of is where it, can start turning around a little bit, but, that's just off the 4-year cycle. But also, if you guys are in the private group in the Patreon, you guys are already aware of some projects that I've been DCAing here recently. A couple of those projects I'm going to leave out of this video. That way it's just exclusive to the Patreon or the Discord. A couple of them are in here, but you guys know the ones if you're in that group. Again, as always, it is linked below, completely optional, but a great way of supporting the channel, and it means a lot. And as always, if you guys get value out of these videos and out of this content, if you guys could consider subscribing to the channel and liking the videos, your support means everything. So if you take a look here at Bitcoin, obviously we have to take a look at it. The big thing that we're seeing across the Twitter timeline is everyone's now bearish. I mean, times like this sucks, but as I say, this is the time to potentially DCA to buy. When others are fearful, that's when you buy. When they're greedy, that's when you sell. So I don't think this is the time to be selling out of your positions. That's not what I would recommend. If you're down on any of your altcoins or anything that you've been holding throughout this year, throughout this cycle so far, again, this is also one of the times that you evaluate your portfolio, get rid of the stuff that you don't have conviction in, maybe reallocate it, but I don't know, personally, nothing I say is financial advice, but this is not the time that I would be deciding to call it quits and leave the market. Again, if you're down on your positions, as most of us are, just hold, because I do believe that Bitcoin is going to go higher than where it is right now. Could we still see a little bit more pain throughout the rest of this month? I think so, probably. October could be maybe more of a market turnaround, if not more sideways action, but I do think September is going to be choppy. I mean, that's just my opinion. We do have rate cuts coming here in a little bit. I forget the exact day, but, a lot of people say that the markets already have the rate cuts priced in. I would believe that. Personally, I would believe that. So, again, we'll see what happens. I don't really like doing full-on predictions because nobody knows what the market's going to do, but, just as a quick summary, I think we're going to go higher. If you're down in your positions, I wouldn't be panicking. Just hold. This is definitely a time where if you are not already in the positions in the markets how you want to be as far as allocations go, or just, if you have a lot of dry powder on the side, a lot of the prices that you're seeing right now across the markets are pretty good for DCA levels. If you've been waiting for that certain entry and you don't already have a position on an altcoin you're looking at, consider maybe this could be the potential time for some potential DCAs. Again, you do you. This is just me bringing up a couple projects that I'm particularly bullish on for this cycle. Because again, as I always say, I don't think we've seen anything quite yet. I think this cycle still has a lot of legs to go. And I think we still have the biggest bull run yet to come that's right in front of us. You just have to hold out a little bit longer. The race, if you've been here since the last cycle, you've already been here for, 3 years now of just bear market, especially over the last year. Whereas, yes, there was a little bit of an altcoin rally, a little bit, but nothing compared to what we're going to see. And I do strongly believe that. Now, moving on. Again, remember all the projects I'm talking about today. I'm not telling you to go buy any of these because I don't know what they're going to do. It's just my personal opinion, and I'm going to be giving you guys my thesis on each one of these. And also, the idea of these projects is to give you a kind of more well-rounded potential portfolio of mid to low caps in different narratives that I'll go over throughout the video of that, I think are bullish narratives, potentially the top 3 narratives. We're going to be talking about RWA, AI, gaming, and then we're also going to have a layer 1, layer 2 pick in there as well. All of these we've talked about on the channel. Again, a lot of these I hold, but if you want to know particularly which ones, either join the Patreon or get into the Discord. You can ask me there. And either way, we'll get started. So first of all, I'm going to just cover real fast Solana and Avalanche because these are 2 ecosystems that I'm very bullish on. So if we're looking at ecosystems. What I mean by that is blockchains, projects that are building on certain blockchains that I would really be paying attention to. It's going to be Solana and it's going to be Avalanche. I think Avalanche is definitely a catch-up trade to Solana. I think really Avalanche has kind of cooled off since, the end of 2023, really. We saw Avalanche, kind of do pretty well, for itself, coming from about sub $10 all the way up, towards the end of the year to like $50 and then $60. But that big run was the end of, quarter four of 2023. And that's why we saw stuff on, the gaming side of Avalanche do well also. But I think it's really taking a seat on the back burner since then. And, obviously Solana has just been the darling of the cycle so far, performing quite well, going from, again, at one point, this thing was like, I think like $7 or $10 throughout the bear market. And it got all the way up to like $200, just within the last year or so. The performance there is obviously can't be matched or can't be ignored. So I think what I'd be looking at, and you're going to be noticing a trend here throughout some of the projects here today, is I'm looking at the Solana ecosystem and the Avalanche ecosystem for sure. But you can also look at stuff like the Base ecosystem. Obviously, they don't have a Base token out right now, or else it'd be here. But I think Base is potentially going to be a hot ecosystem also. But again, we don't know for a fact. But I would expect Base to be a performer also. But Solana and Avalanche is definitely where I'm positioning myself if we're looking at ecosystems primarily. Now moving on, and really on both of them, again, between the two, I would personally be DCing Avalanche as it is part of my portfolio. Again, it's almost like if you're looking for one, it's almost one of those top 10, 25 coins that it's kind of could be your safety net. It's not going to do anything crazy, I don't think, but it is something where I would feel strong about Avalanche giving you a couple X's throughout the cycle because, one, it's already been around. It's obviously a huge ecosystem. Not a whole lot has to get explained there with their subnets, everything building on them. But again, I digress. Those are just two ecosystems that I'm really wanting to highlight that I'm particularly bullish on moving forward. Now, if we get into the first narrative, again, I did say that we're going to have a layer 1, layer 2 in here right now. So I'm looking at Techum. Techum is one that I've talked about a few times on the channel, really. Techum, when we take a look at it, what is Techum? It's a layer 1 and a layer 2. They have the fastest blockchain. I think it's like 3.5 million TPS. If we go to not their Twitter, but their website here, again, we've talked about it. Techum has their soft node technology, which is a payment solution for Bitcoin. Essentially what that is that, let's imagine that I want to send you Bitcoin. I can send you Bitcoin over text, even print it off on a piece of paper, give it to you, you scan it, you pay the fees on taking the payment. I don't have to, I just give it to you. So yeah, it exceeds 3.5 million TPS. And I think when new investors come into the space, traditionally layer 1s, layer 2s do pretty well, especially from the last cycle. We had stuff like Ethereum killers like Solana, Avalanche, Polygon, some of the best performers of the last cycle. I think layer 1s and layer 2s aren't going anywhere. It could be argued that there's a lot more this time around, but what makes Techum different is that, one, it's the fastest blockchain tested. They have their soft node, which is a one-of-a-kind first mover advantage, which is actually a actual payment solution. We have companies already using them in the real world. I think I want to say Plato's Closet or something like that is using them. A couple other companies are using them too. There's talks of a couple governments using Techum as well as a payment solution. And they have their soft node wallet. They actually have their soft node app, which I believe went live. You can look at their Twitter here. And obviously it shows just how much faster it is than all the other L1s and blockchains on the market right now. So a lot going on for Techum, which is a big reason why I'm bullish on it. And for the most part, they haven't had a working product throughout this whole cycle so far. I mean, they really haven't. But now they have their soft nodes. They're going to be having, I believe, their SDKs going live so people can actually start building on Techum. And for what they have going on, they do have a docs team as well. If you take a look, Techum is at a $56 million market cap. We saw Techum really not that long ago, earlier this year, get to a $220 million market cap. So, Techum, for me, if you're looking for a layer 1, layer 2, even a Bitcoin scaling solution, Techum's where I'm personally looking. Now, there's other options you can go as well, like a Lithium, Mint Layer, several other, either Bitcoin scaling solutions, layer 1s, layer 2s. I just like Techum. And again, the point of this video is not to say that these are, end-all, be-all projects. It's just letting you guys know, have exposure to different narratives in your portfolio, because we don't know what's going to pump. We don't know when each narrative is going to pump, or if any of them are going to pump. I feel strongly that the ones that we're talking about will today, obviously, but you don't know. So don't put all your eggs in one basket. If you don't choose any of these projects, that's fine. As long as you have alternatives in those narratives, you're going to be fine. I believe. Obviously not financial advice, but I believe you'll be fine. Especially if you just have conviction and just hold on. We're going higher. That's what I think. But either way, Techum, that's what I'm looking at for a Bitcoin scaling solution, payment solution, L1, L2. Techum's where I'm looking at. I think it's severely undervalued. Again, it's kind of just been trading sideways for the most part of this summertime. So, not doing anything crazy, but I do think Techum will surpass its previous all-time highs. I'm not really going to give price predictions in this video. We've done that, kind of just giving you guys my opinion on roughly market cap wise where I think a lot of these projects are going to be going. So you can go watch those individual videos on the channel. This is just giving you guys exposure to the different narratives. So moving on, now that was L1, L2, Bitcoin scaling solutions. Now I'm looking at RWAs. That's what I'm looking at here. Actually, I had Relio pulled up. I don't know why it's not up here, so we'll open Relio right here. I want to cover Relio first because I get this question sometimes. We talked about Relio, obviously, in the past as well. Relio is not a $4 million market cap. It's actually fully diluted, so it's actually a $44 million market cap. That's just something I want to make note of. Now, I like Relio personally. I'm bullish on Relio. A lot of people give it hate because it's been around for so long. It's kind of that stigma of don't choose old projects, only choose new shiny ones. Which, yes, a lot of that could have truth, but realize in the past that real world assets RWA wasn't a narrative, and now it potentially is going to be one of the hotter narratives of the cycle. I don't think it's going to be the hottest, but I do think it is going to be a narrative that does pump throughout the cycle. Again, when I don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows. So don't believe anyone that says that they do. Nobody knows when any of these are going to pump. But Relio is definitely one that I like because they have a working product. They have been around for so long. They actually have companies and institutions using them. So again, and it's fully diluted. There's no dilution, to really dump on you. So whenever you're looking at it, I know other sites have it corrected, but at least on CoinMarketCap, it's actually a $44 million market cap. But if you're looking at RWA, Relio is, if you don't have any exposure, you can go higher caps also. But I like Relio because it's fully diluted. It's been around for a cycle already. They have a working product, and it's still kind of a mid cap, mid to low cap at a 44 million. So it's nothing crazy like a billion or whatever Ondo is, a couple billion. So that's why I like Relio. Now Parcel to me is the top RWA play on Solana. I believe there's maybe one or two more. And I could be wrong about that, but Parcel, we've done a video on them in the past. They are a newly launched project. They had a huge airdrop, so again, this thing's been dumping for a while. I don't believe they have any token unlocks really starting till the end of the year, if not early 2025. And then I think that dilution is like a 5x or something. Again, we cover it in the individual video, but Parcel, again, this goes back to ecosystems that I'm bullish on. I'm bullish on the Solana ecosystem and RWA, which Parcel, again, is in the Solana ecosystem, backed by the Solana Foundation, built on Solana, and it's RWA. They have a working product also. So Parcel, for me, if you're looking for a Solana RWA pick, I like Parcel. That's what I'm personally would be choosing. And at these levels, again, all these projects could go down, they could go up, they can go sideways. Who knows? But Parcel seems to have been, holding these levels a little bit, here for about a month now. So, around that 20 million market cap wise, it still has room to go down. But again, the dilution is not bad for the rest of 2024. It's not that much longer, obviously. But when we look at the end of 2025, there is some dilution that is going to be occurring, which is, again, the difference of Parcel versus Relio. Relio is no dilution, but Parcel is a new project launch this year, and it's on Solana, whereas Relio is on Ethereum, and I believe BNB, but it's not showing here. So for RWA, those are what I'm potentially looking at. Again, you don't have to look at either one of these. Just get exposure to RWA, because I do think out of all the top narratives that people speculate on, I think RWA, for whatever reason, is probably the most ignored, if not slept on narrative, it feels like. So it's not one that I'd be ignoring. It's also not one that, again, not financial advice, just not one that I'm personally going super heavy on, but I am making sure that I have exposure to RWA because I do think it is going to be a narrative that pumps. I just don't think it's going to be the hottest narrative. So, moving on, we have Parcel and Relio. Now AI. So there's two here that I want to cover. There is obviously if you're looking for a micro cap AI project that has a docs team, a working product, bullish updates, and in the base ecosystem, I did just put out, again, that DCA alert in the Patreon, in the private group. Again, it's optional if you want to get in there and support the channel. If not, that's totally fine. You can join the free Discord also, where you still get, some feedback in there as well. But just want to mention that. Now, if you look at TARS AI, again, a project that we've covered multiple times on the channel. TARS AI, same thing as Parcel. It's on the Solana ecosystem, backed by the Solana Foundation. The dilution now isn't that bad between now and the end of 2025, I think. And we've seen that it's actually a pretty decent looking chart. They launched also the beginning of, kind of May of 2024. But, their chart has looked pretty healthy. It hasn't done anything too extreme, choppy-wise, staying between the 10 and 20 cent levels. Now, we were talking about Parcel way back here. I mean, before it really went on this huge run. You can find the videos where we were mentioning Parcel on some of those like altcoin videos. You can find them, and we caught the run there. So pretty good because again, if you focus on ecosystems, not trying to catch every single pump, every single ecosystem. Just picking a few ecosystems that you like again, you can pick Solana, you can pick Avalanche, you can pick Base. But if you have an ecosystem that you're bullish on, you can study that ecosystem and know different projects and different narratives on that ecosystem instead of trying to catch everything, thinking what's on Sui, what's on Polygon, what's on Ethereum. That's the benefit of kind of niching down and just picking an ecosystem, maybe a couple, and then picking all kinds of different narratives within those ecosystems. It's just a lot easier, and especially if this is your first cycle, or even if it isn't, it's just easier in general. I know in my first cycle, because this is not my first, as you guys know, I'm on YouTube, since the last cycle, many years ago, we've been here, bringing the videos. I know in my first cycle, I definitely got way too scattered, and so that's just one thing that helped me. So there's a tip for you. If you take it, not take it, you do what you want to do. But either way, TARS AI, they have a lot going on. They also have made some pretty good partnerships. They do token burns as well. If you take a look here, if I can get it to load on my computer, we can see what they're all about. It's an AI infrastructure on Solana, so that's how they market it. Obviously, they have their AI modules. They also have a GPU aspect coming as well, which you see a lot of AI projects do, but they have their mining GPUs coming as well. So if you're looking for an AI project on Solana, this is one that I'm potentially would be going with. Again, there's other AI projects you can choose, especially if your risk tolerance is a lot lower. And if you want something a lot higher, you can go with higher market caps. This is just a video to give you guys some low caps in the different ecosystems. So TARS AI is one, especially at these levels. I think that, it could go down a little bit more. It could hold these levels, I think around the 10 cent range. Could be a nice DCA, especially if you've been looking for one or don't have an entry, but you want one. That's something that I would maybe, think that it's a pretty decent level. But as always, do your own research. That's not what these videos are for. These are not direct buy alerts or DCA alerts. Just giving you guys my opinion. Now, another one is Carrot. This is a smooth transition into gaming because they also have AI part of their ecosystem as well. They have a few partnerships with like NVIDIA, Palantir, a couple big AI companies. They do have AI going into their ecosystem, but they also have their main game, My Pet Hooligan. It's also a gaming studio. They have like their mocap technology as well. They were just out at, I think, game, like some kind of game convention, a GameCon or something. I can't recall it immediately right now, but these prices for Carrot, I didn't expect these prices to come so quick, personally, but I'm very bullish on Carrot. That has not been a secret on this channel. Extremely bullish on Carrot. We've talked about Carrot and My Pet Hooligan throughout the bear cycle. We were watching them because they worked obviously very closely with Superfarm, or now Superverse, so a lot of attention there. But, it makes sense because I think a lot of people are anticipating a dump leading up to the unlocks in October, which, if you look at the unlock in October, it's really not that huge. It's considerable. It's worth mentioning, worth looking into. But I think a lot of people are overhyping or fudding, if that's the correct word, the unlock for Carrot in October, because it is going to be the first unlock for Carrot. But again, when you look at that dilution for Carrot between now and the end of 2025, it is not that bad, especially for the quality project that it is, for what they have building. And if you look at other projects in the AI and gaming sector, they have worse dilution, well over 10x on a lot of the newer projects. Also considering that this launched in April of this year, the dilution is not that bad. And the chart, yes, it is down, but not really that far down. I mean, we were accumulating right around these 45 cent, 50 cent levels for quite a bit there. And then, it went up to well over $1. I think $1.28, $1.27 is the all-time high here. And then now it is recently gone around the 30-cent levels. So I think Carrot could continue to potentially have downward price action leading up to the unlock. Because again, I think a lot of people are getting nervous about it. But just know that I'm extremely bullish on Carrot. And I will give you guys this one for free. Carrot is one that I have been DCAing because, I've been extremely open about that. So I have been DCAing Carrot. That's just what I'm doing. You do you, though. Now, moving on, these are the last two that we're going to be talking about today, and you'll take note of why. So if you look at OTK, another project that I've told you guys for so long. We were looking at this when it was like a $2 million market cap way last year, like in November. Go find the videos. It's there. I always say it. Go find the videos. It is there. Well before this thing ran up from about a $2 million market cap all the way up to a $30 million. So we did well. That was pretty cool. That was a cool pump to catch. So pat yourselves on the back if you were here for that. But again, same thesis. It's on Solana. Again, if you guys have been paying attention, we have RWA, Parcel on Solana, TARS AI on Solana, OTK Gaming on Solana. Because I'm bullish on Solana, and it's already proven to be a bullish ecosystem. So if you take a look at OTK, again, every time OTK dips, it typically does get eaten up pretty well. We can see that in the price action. They have bullish updates. They keep putting out new games on their mobile app. I think they have like 14 games live now. They have new partnerships as well. The team's been open about getting more centralized exchange listings when the market turns bullish, when it makes sense to do so as well. And they're backed, I believe, by the Solana Foundation. And again, dip here got eaten up, dip got eaten up, dip got eaten up. And this one seems to be getting eaten up, but time will tell. We were buying this, and I told you guys over the summertime when it got under a $5 million market cap, I made a video telling you that this was completely oversold and undervalued, and we were DCAing at that time again, and it has yet to go really beneath those levels since. And that was right around the time that the Solana ETFs were, getting talked about, getting filed, and then they made that partnership with Bonk for the Bonk Run games, like a football game as well, so a new game. Solana ETF news, and if Solana does get an ETF, and we see Solana really explode this cycle, I expect a lot of liquidity to just get pushed and shoved and injected into the Solana ecosystem, and people will be looking for Solana altcoins in the different narratives as the cycle progresses. So that is why I'm looking at these different Solana altcoins that I'm talking about today, because again, I pick Solana as one of the ecosystems I'm looking at, and that's why I'm bullish on OTK, and they just have a quality project. And as far as the top gaming or low cap gaming altcoin on Solana, OTK is it for me. It has always been. I've been very open about that. Plenty of videos. If you want to learn more about OTK, you can find them on the channel. Now, last video we're going to be covering today. Again, guys, please do not comment why I didn't put such and such altcoin or project in the video. I can't put them all in here. I mean, the video would be well over an hour long, and whereas you guys might like that, some of you guys might not. So I can't put every single altcoin in the video. Just please be aware of that. So if I didn't talk about a certain altcoin that I've talked about in the past, just know it doesn't mean I'm not bullish on it anymore. It's just that I can't include every single altcoin on the video. And all of these I want to talk about specifically because I do believe they're at good levels right now for accumulation if you've been looking for them on the different projects. Now, last one is Playable Games. Obviously, we've made plenty of videos on Playable Games. We're also talking about it kind of like OTK. Way back here in November, before gaming really took off, it did about a 10x in a very short amount of time. So Playable Games, I like Playable Games. It's a Docs team, Old Bull. He's always on like AMAs or in the Discord. They have a lot of games in the pipeline. It's not just their Nexus game. Plenty of games in the pipeline. They also are a gaming hub on Avalanche, and the top gaming hub on Avalanche to my knowledge. So if I close that, we can take a look. They have plenty of games. For whatever reason, my computer is being a little slow right now, so sorry about that. But they have their Nexus, War of Steel, Ordinum, Dogs of War, and they have more than just these games in the pipeline as well. Again, Doc's team, constant updates on their Twitter. Working products, they put updates on the different individual games, so they're working on all of them really at the same time, it seems. So if they can get a couple more of these games released throughout the cycle, which I believe they will, I think Playable Games is going to do very well. And tying back to Avalanche, I think Avalanche is undervalued right now as an altcoin, but also just has an ecosystem as a whole. And if we look at gaming projects that are launching on Avalanche, we have stuff like Off the Grid, which is arguably going to be the top gaming project of the cycle. As far as quality goes, I think Off the Grid takes the cake there. For right now, especially since it's on, I believe, PC and PS5, then coming to Xbox in the future. So we have Off the Grid, we have Shrapnel, we have, I believe, MapleStory, we have Bloodloop, and many more like Playable and Nexus. And that's just the games that are building on Avalanche. They also have their own subnet. And if we're looking at gaming projects, I do like betting. Personally, I like gaming, coins or altcoins that give you exposure to not just more than one individual game. Stuff like Carrot with AI and gaming, and My Pet Hooligan, and Otk Gaming with the multiple games, like 14 games that they have and more games coming. And Playable, same case, and it is a low gaming hub on Avalanche. So again, guys, those are the ones that I just wanted to talk about today. So, again, if we're doing a quick recap for gaming, we have Playable, OTK, we have Carrot. If we're looking at AI, we also have Carrot, Tars AI. And if we want a degen low cap AI project, it is in the Patreon. We just put out a DCA alert on it, one that we've talked about in the past, so you can find that if you're interested. If you're looking at RWA, Relio, again, been through a cycle, has a working product. Just keep in mind that it is fully diluted, so it is closer to that $50 million market cap right now. If you look at Parcel, potentially a top RWA project on Solana. And then we have Techum as a layer 1, layer 2 Bitcoin scaling solution and payment solution as well with their soft node technology. All these, again, if any of these interest you, if you're waiting on entries on these, I think they're at decent levels. Now, yes, everything could drop another 10-20%. I have no idea. Genuinely nobody does. But these are the ones that I'm looking at, just what I want to talk about today. Then we have Avalanche and Solana as bullish ecosystems, in my opinion. And then obviously Bitcoin, because, again, just have to start and end the video on Bitcoin. So, guys, that's again, some projects and different ecosystems and different narratives that I'm looking at, especially if anyone's looking for a low cap project in a certain narrative like AI, RWA, gaming, or if you're looking for an L1, L2, or a Bitcoin scaling solution play, there you have it. Let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think of these picks? Are you bearish? Are you bullish on them? Do you like any of these? Do you hold them? Do you not? If you don't, let me know alternatives. So I can look into them and give you guys my feedback, and let me know why you're bullish on them. So if you don't like any of the RWA picks here today, comment below. What would you pick in these, projects' places? Comment your favorite picks, and maybe I'll do a video on them or give you some feedback on them. And as always, if you're interested, completely optional. It's a way of supporting the channel, and it means a lot. If you guys are interested, you can join the Patreon linked below. It's $20 a month, US, $20 a month. You get to know kind of what I'm buying right now, what I'm doing. You have a direct way of accessing me if you're interested, and it's really just a primary way of supporting the channel. Or you can get into the free Discord linked below as well. It's free to get in there. We have multiple channels on different narratives. We have a general chat. You can get in there, ask questions, maybe get some feedback, especially if it's your first cycle. Just join a community. Join either mine, join others, join everyone's communities. You might as well be in one, especially if it's free to join. You can get in there and just get, again, some instant feedback and help. Either way, guys, that's going to conclude today's video. As always, if you got value out of today's video, if you guys can like the video, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share the video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, see you guys.